Hey guys, I wanted to bring a new video series to YouTube for you guys, and it's basically related to practicing. This is something that everybody needs to do, but a lot of people don't know really how to do it effectively. And this is something I've learned over years and years of studying on my own, then also working with my students. So I wanted to show you some tips, and I thought the best thing to do would be to start with how to warm up. A lot of folks just kind of jump right in and playing, but it's like we have to kind of treat our hands and our arms the way an athlete would his body when they're playing, because it is a physical thing. A couple years ago, I had a really bad bout of tendonitis, so I had to learn quickly how to recover and how to also maintain my body so that I'm not running into these problems again. So I was trying to alleviate any tendonitis. And if you've ever had it, it's pretty painful. So it got to the point where I could barely play during any given day. So I had to take a couple weeks off and about 6 months of therapy with a chiropractor. And it's been an ongoing thing. But I figure I'd give you some tips that I've kind of picked up along the way between from doctors and other players, and then also show you kind of the way I approach the instrument every single day before I'm going to perform or play or do any kind of recording. So just some helpful hints. Hopefully they help you out. So the first thing I always do is I start to just stretch out my fingers. So I basically just take my hand and try to spread the digits out as much as I possibly can, and then alleviate the tension. So then do it a couple times. These things seems kind of a little lame to be even doing a video on this one as I'm doing it, but at the same time, it's such a needed thing for everybody because all of us have the same issues going on when we're practicing. So I take both hands and do that. That's just to kind of get the blood flowing and get those tendons moving a little bit. The other one that I do, and this one's pretty simple, is just take your hand out. You're going to do both of them out, and then you're going to turn your wrists out as far as you can and start to stretch those tendons. And then pull the wrist back up and then spin them around again. This is the one right here. You want to get your hand all the way out. And I'm really having to contort to get these tendons to be tight, but these tendons are the ones we really want to stretch out. So once you get those kind of stretched out, you might do that once or twice. The other one you could do is actually to take your wrist back like that and then take your other hand and pull it back even further. The goal is to really stretch those tendons. So I'll do that for a couple seconds before I actually start playing, just to kind of limber up a little bit. And that's pretty much the gist of stretching. There's probably some others you can do, and I'd love to see guys post if they've got any great ideas that I haven't hit on. But then, as far as the playing goes, what I do is I start out everything slow. For my left hand, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit absolutely every single fret all the way up to the 12th fret. One at a time. So I start with my first finger on the second string, and I call this exercise 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty simple. But what you're going to do is just go 1, 2, 3, 4 on each fret in each position. So what I'm going to do is down, up, pick on every single one. Okay, so that's one position. Then I scoot up with my pinky and keep everything here. And go backwards. Go up a fret with your first finger. And scoot up. Up. Okay, so I'll typically take my pinky up to the 12th fret on the first string. So here's the idea with these. I'm going fairly slow. It's not about speed or anything like that. What I'm trying to do is get my hands to connect. I find that when I do this as I start, I have a lot better practice session or even a playing session if I really take things slow and get to give my body time to kind of connect. With what I mean by connect is that the left hand and the right hand start to synchronize. You've probably had those days where you started playing and you feel like your hands aren't quite synchronized as they were a day before. You might be able to play a certain lick or a certain song, and then the next day you come back and it doesn't sound quite the same. That's typically due to the fact your body is just in a different state. So what you want to do is try to get everything back to, I call it basically zero, meaning that both hands are really locking together. And so you do that by slow practicing, and I'm trying to get everything really clean and precise and at an even tempo. A lot of times I'll do this with a metronome so that I'm even kind of warming up my rhythm playing and I'm really starting to lock with a click. But that's the idea with that. So I'll go up and down all the way up, doing alternate picking. Then I'll go back and do the exact same thing now with slurs in time though. So let's say if I was doing the exact same thing, but I'm only going to pick one time per string. All the way up the neck. So now let me explain that. When I mean slur, I mean hammer on and pull off. So as I'm ascending, I'm hammering on. And when I slide up, now I'm going to be pulling off. Okay, so what I'm really trying to do is overemphasize that slur and make it really clean and in time. I don't care about the speed. I don't care about how fast I can jam through these. That's not the goal. I want to be able to just get really, really clean and start to get those hands to warm up. Okay, so that's the general idea with those. And you can start to, mix and match those also to kind of get your brain to start working a little bit harder on these. So what I'll do is I'll slur one string, pick the next string. So that sounds like this. Okay, and I'll take that all the way up to the 12th fret. So there's all different kind of combinations that you can do with these and come up with your own on it. But once I start to get to that point where I've got all the way through that, I'll start to leave out a finger. So what that means is that instead of doing 1, 2, 3, 4 on every fret, I might do 1, 2, 4 or 1, 3, 4. So let me show you those. The 1, 2, 4, same thing. It's just now we have 3 per string. Just keep going all the way up. The thing I love about these is that now I've got an odd number of fingerings on my left hand, meaning that if I'm doing 1, 2, 4, that's 3 fingers per string. That odd number makes my alternate picking really start to have to work, because when I go down, up, the next pick would be down, down, up. Okay, so on the string jump, I'm going from a down to an up with a string jump, and so it's alternating back and forth. So if you do it slow, you'll notice what I'm talking about, but that's making us go inside and outside of the strings, which is a great exercise to get really warmed up with that. So then I'll go back and I'll do 1, 3, 4, leaving out the second finger, the middle finger. So that'd be 1, 3, 4. And then I go all the way up. And then also doing those with slurs. So doing 1, 2, 4 slurs. And then 1, 3, 4 slurs. But that's the idea. So that's a good way to start every time you're going to play. Start with those kind of warm-ups to really get the digits to start to lock together. So hopefully it gives you some ideas how you can kind of warm up, and I'll have some more of these coming along the way so that give you more ideas how to practice. So good luck with it, and God bless.